If you love stories of overcoming, revenge, and twists and turns that life brings, then this channel is for you. Here, each story will keep you hooked from beginning to end. So, subscribe now, activate the bell, leave your like, and come with me, because today's story is simply unmissable. The sweet, intoxicating scent of jasmine hung in the warm air of that summer night, wrapping the small cafe in a perfumed embrace. Anna smiled, her brown eyes sparkling with a contagious joy that lit up the round table where she and Tiago shared a slice of chocolate cake. His words were music to her ears, whispered promises of a future together, a castle of dreams built on the shifting sands of newly discovered passion. Every touch, every exchanged glance was a spark that further ignited the fire burning in her chest. She wholeheartedly believed every word, every gesture, surrendering body and soul to that connection that felt destined. The world around them faded, becoming an indistinct blur as she got lost in the private universe they had created. His laughter echoed softly, mingling with the cafe's background chatter, and Anna felt she had finally found the safe harbor she had always longed for. Little did she know that the calm sea of that night hid treacherous waves, ready to rise and shatter the fragility of her illusions. The intensity of the moment blinded her to the subtle signs, to the fleeting shadows that crossed Tiago's face, foreshadowing a storm quietly approaching, threatening to swallow all the happiness she dared to feel. The days that followed were a whirlwind of passionate encounters, of fervent declarations that Anna treasured like jewels in her heart. Every message brought a radiant smile. Every long phone call was proof of a love she believed to be mutual. They explored the city hand in hand, discovering hidden corners, sharing secrets whispered to the wind. Anna felt complete, as if every missing piece of her inner puzzle had finally fallen into place. She painted a vibrant future in her mind, imagining the children they would have, the cozy home where they would grow old together, the trips they would take to explore the world. This fantasy wrapped her in a veil of optimism, making her even more vulnerable to the pain that was yet to come. She trusted him blindly, handing him the keys to her heart without hesitation. Her friends watched from a distance, some with a hint of skepticism, but Anna was so wrapped up in her bubble of happiness that she didn't notice the subtle looks of concern. She was convinced that Tiago was different, that their love was special, immune to the disappointments that so often plagued other relationships. The first blow came like a cold breeze amid the summer heat. An ambiguous message on Tiago's phone, a whispered phone call that he hastily ended the moment Anna approached. Small incidents that, alone, could have been dismissed, but together began to cast a shadow of doubt in Anna's heart. She tried to rationalize, searching for logical explanations for each mystery, but the anguish grew silently within her, like a weed stubbornly sprouting. Conversations with Tiago no longer flowed naturally, and his eyes, once so expressive, now seemed to avoid hers. His touch no longer carried the same electricity, and the kisses became quicker, more superficial. Anna felt a lump forming in her throat every time she sensed the distance growing, but the fear of confronting him paralyzed her. She preferred to live in the illusion that everything would go back to how it was, rather than face the possibility that the fairy tale she had built was on the verge of collapsing. One night, while waiting for Tiago at a restaurant they used to frequent, Anna watched him walk in with another woman. Her laughter echoed through the dining room, filling the emptiness that opened in Anna's chest like a crater. The two seemed close, exchanging knowing glances and affectionate smiles. Anna's world froze for a few seconds as reality hit her like a punch. This was the man who had sworn to love her, who had promised her a future together. The betrayal written on their faces was a dagger to her heart, shredding all her hopes and dreams. Tears welled in her eyes, blurring the scene before her, but she refused to look away. She needed to see, needed to feel the pain in its entirety so she could somehow begin to heal the wounds. She stood up from the table, her legs trembling, and left the restaurant, unnoticed, leaving behind the piece of her heart that had been brutally torn away. The pain consumed her from the inside, turning her days into endless nights of suffering. Crying became her only companion, and the memories of happy moments became a cruel form of torture. She replayed every word, every gesture, desperately searching for signs that might have warned her of the deception. Anger mixed with sadness, a bitter cocktail that prevented her from finding any solace. Her friends tried to comfort her, but their words felt empty in the face of her overwhelming pain. Anna withdrew from the world, locking herself in her room as if that could protect her from the cruel reality surrounding her. Her self-confidence crumbled, and she constantly questioned what she had done wrong, why she hadn't been enough. The heartbreak had struck her with full force, leaving her disoriented and lost in a sea of tears and self-pity. The wound was deep, and the prospect of a happy future seemed increasingly distant. Time, however, is a relentless healer. Slowly, very slowly, the pain began to give way to a faint glimmer of hope. Anna started to emerge from her isolation, accepting friends' invitations for coffee, a walk in the park. Laughter still felt foreign, but she made an effort to smile, to reconnect with the life she had put on hold. She allowed herself to feel the breeze on her face, to admire the beauty of flowers, to listen to the song of the birds. Small pleasures that once went unnoticed now took on new meaning. Gradually, Tiago's image began to lose its sharpness, replaced by a blur of painful memories that grew less vivid with each passing day. Anna realized that life went on, with or without him, and that she had the right to pursue her own happiness. This wasn't the end of her story, just a painful chapter that had made her stronger and more resilient. Anna rediscovered old hobbies she had abandoned for the sake of the relationship. She went back to painting, filling blank canvases with vibrant colors and abstract shapes that reflected the complexity of her emotions. Writing became another form of escape, a refuge where she could pour out her sorrows and transform pain into words that danced on the page. She enrolled in a photography course, learning to capture the world's beauty through the lens of her camera. Each click was a new perspective, a new way of seeing life. These activities helped her fill the void left by Tiago's absence, giving her a sense of purpose and fulfillment. She realized that her happiness did not depend on anyone else, but on her own ability to connect with herself and the world around her. Little by little, her confidence in her own abilities began to bloom again. At work, Anna threw herself into her projects with renewed vigor, showing a determination and creativity that impressed her colleagues and superiors. She took on new responsibilities, seeking challenges that pushed her out of her comfort zone. Professional recognition brought her an extra dose of self-confidence, strengthening her self-esteem, which had been shattered by heartbreak. She learned that success in her career was a genuine and lasting source of happiness, something no one could take away from her. Lonely nights were no longer synonymous with sadness, but rather opportunities to invest in herself, whether by reading a good book, watching an inspiring film, or simply enjoying the comforting silence of her home. Anna was building a new version of herself, stronger, more independent, and more aware of her own worth. One day, while browsing a bookstore, Anna bumped into a familiar face. It was Pedro, a longtime friend who had always secretly admired her. They talked for hours, reminiscing about old times and sharing their recent experiences. Anna felt at ease in Pedro's presence, realizing that his company was light and genuine. He didn't see her as a victim of heartbreak, but as the strong, intelligent woman she had always been. Their meetings became more frequent, and a new spark began to shine in Anna's eyes. She hesitated at first, afraid of opening herself up to love again, but Pedro's kindness and sincerity slowly won her over. He helped her regain her faith in love, showing her that not all men are the same and that true love exists, just waiting for the right moment to bloom. The relationship with Pedro developed naturally and gradually, built on a solid foundation of friendship and mutual respect. Anna felt safe and loved, free from the ghosts of the past. Pedro admired her strength and resilience and encouraged her to pursue her dreams and ambitions. Together, they discovered new passions and shared moments of joy and deep connection. Anna realized that true love wasn't the one that caused pain and suffering, but the one that brought peace and happiness. She held no grudge against Tiago, understanding that the painful experience had been essential for her personal growth. Heartbreak, though devastating, had taught her valuable lessons about herself and what she truly sought in a relationship. She had become more